Alright then, so now we've got some data into SPSS and we want to start exploring the data. So before you do any sophisticated analysis or anything fancy, you need to start by just having a look at your data, looking at the descriptive statistics, so those are statistics that describe the data, and getting a feel for whether or not the data is normally distributed, so that's important for certain statistical analyses you might want to do, and also looking for any outliers, and also just get a feel for what the data looks like and whether or not there might be anything interesting going on. So we'll start off by looking at some data that is within subjects. So I just have a bunch of participants, they're all in the same group, and I've maybe had two different conditions that they've participated in an experiment, or I've collected some data about them all. So if we open up the class demographics data that we had before, and here it is. So I know I've got height and hair colour. So the first thing that we do is we'll get rid of that fresh output file that it's generated, and we'll open up the file, open output file. So we'll open the class demographics output file that we saved earlier. There we go. Alright, so the first thing to do then is we go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Explore. So you'll see on the left here we've got the two variables that I've got, the two dependent variables, the things that I measured, so the height and the hair colour, and I can highlight them and pop them over into the dependent list there. And then we'll click on Statistics. So yes, I want these descriptive statistics. And we'll also highlight outliers. That will tell me what extreme values there are in the data. So what are my most extreme values? And we'll click Continue. And then Plots. So we won't have stem and leaf. We'll concentrate on histograms because they are kind of more informative really when you're looking at the distribution of the data. And it's what we'll concentrate on in these lectures. And we do want to have normality plots with tests, so we want SPSS to test whether or not the data is normally distributed. And then for box plots, we'll just leave that set to its default, which is factor levels together. So I've highlighted everything I want, I've chosen all the options, and I'll just click OK. And SPSS chugs away for a bit, and then it spits out a whole bunch of output. So all of this stuff. So the first thing you should really do is give a title to what it's just produced. When you are doing lots of analysis and you're going over your data again and again, you'll generate lots of different outputs and you'll forget which was which, and you won't be able to find what you want when you go back and look at it after a week. So make sure you give everything a title. So I know this is class demographics, descriptives and normality. There's my title there, and I'm also going to come up into the index over on the left here and do the same thing. There we go. So this left hand box is your index for all of your different output within a given file, and when you've got a lot you can hide the things you don't want to look at and expand them when you want to look at them, and that becomes much more useful when you've got a lot of things to look at. Just tidies things up a bit. And there's your output. And what we'll do in class is we'll spend a bit of time actually going over each of these bits of output and deciding what it all means. But for the moment, that's how you get there.